grab those, find a comfortable seat, get your hips above your knees, opening up your hip flexors, and in that moment, just letting things melt away. And take a moment to find your sit bones and find your breath wherever it might be. Bringing mind, body, spirit all into this same place. A bit of grounding, centering, noticing how you feel. And noticing how your breath feels, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, not overcomplicating it. Noticing your ischial spines reaching downward, maybe your tailbone connected to the blocks or your bolster, and tilt your pelvic bowl forward, align your spine, and grow the crown of your head to the sky. And take another big, deep inhale and exhale. And the invitation of today's practice, I always like to choose some thought or suggestion, is healing, taking good care of your nervous system in advance of perhaps the holiday week or following a stressful week, and being kind to your nervous system, letting it soften, connecting with it. And instead of letting it be in charge, letting you and it be on the same team, treating it with kindness. And so with that, the breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, is a way to connect to that, a way to get your parasympathetic nervous system found once again. Stepping out of fight or flight, which at times is necessary. And at times it's very helpful to let it go. And we'll bring a hand to heart and another hand atop, letting that feel really good as well. Pressing that heel of your hand into the heart space. And taking a moment here on Thanksgiving week to connect with gratitude and appreciation, whichever works better for you. Perhaps even thankfulness. Being thankful for me, the calm after the storm. Thankful that the sun does always come back out. And thankful even for some of the things that storms bring. Lots of green grass, lots of water. California poppies will be popping shortly, clearly very early this year. And what else do these disruptions or moments of excitement bring? They often connect you to what really matters. And while you may not have had a big storm this week, we often have other types of storms in our lives. And noticing the good that comes out of that and how potentially those always seem to connect you to what really matters. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, letting yourself settle, settling into being you. Letting your nervous system breathe again. If you've been holding things tight, or maybe you are holding things tight in anticipation of family or travel or whatever it might be. Enjoying the breath, enjoying settling. And we'll press into the heart space one more time, releasing some oxytocin, healing magic. Remembering that your breath is always available and this hand to heart always available whenever you might need it. Breathing in through your nose once again. And a huge out breath. And lower hands, open eyes, let the light in kindly. And just give your hands a little wiggle, shrugging shoulders, releasing any tension. And we'll inhale our arms straight up to the sky. Palms face one another. Exhale, drop your shoulders. Inhale, grow tall. Tall as you can, lengthen the side body. Exhale, drop your shoulders once again. Inhale, reach tall once again. Exhale, drop your right hand to the floor. You can plant your palms or a fist. Bend your right elbow. Reach the left side over the left ear and enjoy a big stretch. Exhale, let it out. One more big stretch here. Reach and lengthen and fill. Exhale, gaze over your shoulder if you have room, letting a little bit of tension melt. Press into the right hand and gently switch sides. Left fist or palm. Notice what feels good today. Root your right hip down. Exhale out the right fingers. Inhale, filling up that right side body, stretching long, long, long. Exhale, let it out. Pressing up to the sky once again. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms up, have a shimmy, let it feel good. Slight arch back and we'll round forward into a seated cat, releasing, stretching, letting it feel amazing. Crown of the head reaches towards the back of your hands. Inhale, reach up and stretch. Exhale, round forward, palms reached forward, forward, forward. Let it feel really good. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, tipped to the left, stretch your right side body, root your right hip down. Inhale, come back to center, finding your center. Exhale, tip to the right, use your center. Close eyes and notice where that center is, what it feels like to be centered. Coming back to center. Open your arms out, wiggle fingers, palms will face front, and we'll wrap our arms in front into eagle arms, right elbow under left. And clasp your hands if you can. Bring elbows to shoulder height and enjoy the interscapular space. If you have been holding tension or lifting heavy things, literally or figuratively, send the breath into that pocket between your scapula. Let it feel really, really good. Exhale, breathe out. Press your elbows against each other gently, noticing that tension and let it melt. Lift your elbows up an inch, inhale. Exhale, round forward. Elbows come into your belly, drop your head and neck, and enjoy your back body. Let it melt. And exhale, let it out. Inhale, elbows up to shoulder height once again. And we'll untangle. Press your palms into the side wall. Flex your wrists, spread your fingers wide, and pinch your scapula. Lots of energy shifting here. Tight, tight, tight. Everything tight. Pinching the scapula and relax. Relax your hands. Bring your arms in the opposite direction. Left elbow under right if you followed me last time. And bring your elbows to shoulder height. And just a reminder, everything I offer here is an invitation. You do what works for you. You do what feels good to you. It may be different. And today it may be different. Learning to listen to your body. Press your elbows against each other, inviting some space and letting go of what you're gripping and holding onto between the scapula. Send the breath in and out. Inhale, lift your elbows up a smidge. And exhale, round forward. Enjoy the back body. Drop your head and neck. Find your belly and your center here as you fold. Bringing elbows to shoulder height. Untangle. Press into the side walls once again. And lower your hands beside your hips. We're going to stretch our legs wide into a wide angle. If you want to stay up on your bolster, it can feel really good. Notice what feels best to you today. Hinge at the waist and fold forward a wee bit. Bringing hands to the floor. If you're up on your bolster, it'll be a little farther, but it might feel amazing. Let your heart shine forward. Taking in a big drink of gratitude and appreciation for the sun shining, for something that's working. Exhale, let it out. Walk hands farther forward and let the energy shift, not resisting the energy, letting it move, wiggling toes, spreading them wide, 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 relaxing your toes. Walk your hands another couple inches forward if you have more room. Heart still shines forward, not folding and rounding. Walk back up to a seat. Inhale your arms up. Twist to the left foot and lower your left hand behind you, right hand to your thigh. Inhale, root and grow as tall as you can, as a tall, graceful tree. Huge breath in. Exhale, ring it out over that left shoulder. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, twist a wee bit more and notice any tightness in your back that's letting go here. Inhale, arms up. Twist all the way to the right this time, using your middle and your center. Right hand falls behind, left hand to the right thigh. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, ring it out over the right shoulder. Inhale, crown of the head reaches to the sky. Grow as tall as you can, graceful as you can. Exhale, breathe. Reach your arms up to the sky once again. Twisting back to center, open them out, bring your legs forward, bang your knees, release. You can stay up on your bolster or your block or a blanket or on the floor, you choose. Hands come to your thighs and you'll slide down towards your shins, ankles flexed, toes flexed. Let it feel good. Lots of energy shifts. Letting the energy move rather than trapping it, letting it flow. Wiggling toes, point your toes, and flex your ankles. Toes come towards your nose. Slide forward a smidge more. Point the right toe, flex the left ankle, and switch sides. Point the left, flex the right. Come back to center. Slide forward another smidge. And we'll slide up the shins to the thighs and sweep your feet around. You can come off if you're on the bolster or the block. Come off of it gracefully if that works for you. And we'll come to hands and knees. And if you need your blanket under your knees, do that. Be kind to yourself. And you may need it today when you don't usually. You just do what you need. Knees will be under your hips. Hands will be under your shoulders. Spread fingers wide or be up on fists. Do what works for your body. Inhale for cow pose. Stick your rear end up, crown of the head up, heart shines forward. Let it feel good. Stretching those tiny little micro fibers in the spine. Exhale, round and drop your head and neck. Reach your belly button to the sky. Let it feel really good. Come back to cow, letting your nervous system soften and not hold with intention, sending it the breath, sending it space and time, moving as slow as feels good to you. Come back to tabletop. Lower down to your elbows. We're going to come into puppy pose. Spread your fingers wide, lower your forehead to the floor. Rear end is going to reach farther back and walk those fingers forward, stretching your armpits. Stretching your back, stretching your fingers, perhaps wagging your tail a little bit to notice the tiny little shifts. Walk fingers forward another centimeter or two. Huge breath in and out. 2 more breaths here. Inviting some softening in the tight spots in the shoulders. Slowly walk your hands back by your face. You'll come back up to hands and knees.
Walk your hands forward a smidge and curl right up into downward dog. And let downward dog feel really good. Massage your backs of your legs, walk the dog. Gaze at the view between your legs, even if it's not that exciting. Notice how it looks. Lift up onto tippy toes and lower your heels to the earth. Let that feel amazing. Huge breath in and out. Walk your hands back towards you, coming into a forward fold. Widen your feet and grasp your opposite elbows, letting yourself sink in. Finding your center and unwinding your nervous system is very much about sinking in. There is also a sway, not holding poses too tightly, letting things move. We know that movement shifts energy, shifts nervous systems. Bend your knees and see if you can straighten them. Enjoy that. And bend them. Release your hands, engage your belly, and roll up. Inch by inch by inch by inch. Your head will be the last to rise. Enjoy your spine unrolling. And when you arrive, find the earth under your feet. Stretch your feet wide, spread your toes wide. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Your right thumb and middle finger will grab your left wrist and reach as tall as you can. Grow as tall as you can. Huge breath in, grow even taller. Exhale, tip to the right, lengthen the left side body, create space, and let it be a delightful massage. Inhale, come back to center. Switch hands, switch the grasp. Exhale, tip to the left, and enjoy the right side body here. Come back to center. Interlace your hands, reach them to the sky, slight arch back. Use your belly here to find your center. Exhale, round forward. Stretch and enjoy your back body. Let the crown of the head reach forward. Inhale, back up. Open arms to the side. Find your belly and scoop round. Bring the beach ball in front of you. Give it a hug and let the back of your spine round. Different spots will open up here. Open your arms into that Titanic and let it feel really, really, really good as far as you can. Lower them down by your waist and slowly bringing them up to the sky. And we'll do that one more time, letting them fall behind you. Huge circle here, let it feel good. And reaching them up to the sky once again. Interlace your fingers and your pointer fingers will reach to the sky. Exhale, tip to the right, coming into crescent moon. Big breath in and out. One more big breath here and out. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, crescent moon to the left. Could also be a banana. Come back to center. Bring your hands to heart center. Press your thumbs into your sternum here as firmly as you can. Lift up all 10 toes, lower them down, shift your weight into your toes and coming up onto your tiptoes. Once again here, a little bit of shaking to connect with that nervous system and relaxing all at the same time. Find your center. If you tip, you're off center. Slowly lower your heels down. And once again, lift up onto both tippy toes as high as you can and notice the tip and lower down. You're going to lower your hands by your sides, reaching them out and up. Once again, palms will come together and will fold forward, forward fold to the earth. If you have blocks, you might want to use them here. Fists can be on the blocks. Lift for a half lift. Your back is flat. Enjoy all those sensations. Exhale, fold forward, hands on the blocks here. Release your head. Inhale for a half lift once again. And exhale, melt forward. Let it feel good. Plant your hands and we'll come back to, step back to plank here. And let that feel good. Find your center once again. Connecting to that sense of strong and stable, perhaps shift and rock. Letting yourself find it shift forward and back, side to side. Let it feel really good and find that spot. Shift your weight forward, bend your knees and bend your elbows, rolling down chaturanga to the earth. Let it feel good. And take a moment here, lying on your belly, noticing what's beneath you. Letting your nervous system absorb all that support and pressure in different spots. Inhale, weight out of your hands, lift up for low cobra. Enjoy your lower back. Exhale, lower down. Once more, lift up for low cobra. And exhale, lower down. Curl your toes, plant them, and press up and back to downward dog. Walk the dog. And take a moment here. Take a moment to take stock. To let different body parts melt. Find all 10 fingers, press both palms into the earth. Right ball mound presses into the earth. Inhale and raise your left leg to the sky. Press your heel to the back wall. Three-legged dog, everything working, holding you steady. Bend your left knee and stack your hips. Roll your ankle, let it feel good. Letting yourself and your nervous system soften into what feels good to you. Recognizing the importance of that for your health, to help you make choices. Re-square your hips, extend your leg long, huge breath in. Exhale, bring your foot between your hands. Gonna come into Anjaneyasana or low lunge, and I encourage you to use blocks. We grip a lot in the hip flexors, and low lunge undoes them a little bit. Having hands on the blocks can be very helpful. You can have your hands directly under your shoulders, slide your back knee back, and let yourself melt in. If you can close eyes here, I recommend that. And connect with your hip. Encouraging it to soften. Three more breaths here, no hurry, taking your time. Straighten your front leg, come into a half splits here. Lift your toes up, let it feel really good. Wiggle your toes. And moving the blocks out of the way, you'll shift forward onto your front toes, lift your back knee up, come to a high lunge. And you'll drop your right heel to the earth. Cartwheel open to warrior two. And sink in. Let it be a long warrior two if you can. Long space between the feet. In fact, wiggle your front feet a little bit forward and sink down really low, if it's okay for you. Grow your spine up to the sky. Let your heart be light in your chest. Breathe in. Wrap your heart with the breath, a hug of breath. Exhale, sink in, soften in. You might notice your legs waking up, perhaps contract the glutes. Notice what happens. Wrap your right inner thigh medially. Flip your left palm up, drop your right hand down the right thigh, and arch up into graceful or elegant warrior. Graceful and elegant is a beautiful intention for challenges and holiday weeks. What if you're just going to move through it as gracefully and elegantly as you can? Two more breaths here. Cartwheel back to warrior two. Make sure your arms are even. One is not dumping. And you're going to straighten your front knee. We're going to drop into Trikonasana. If you have a block, use it. Fist on the block. Both legs are straight, and your right arm is going to reach up to the sky to start. Roll your right shoulder back and gaze up if you can. Bring your shoulder back to neutral. Reach your right arm over your right ear, stretching long in this triangle. And if you have a block, bring your right hand to the block and switch hands, and your left hand will reach up the other side, coming into a revolve triangle. It's a pretty big twist. You may or may not be able to do it without a block. Some of you will be. Coming back, switch hands, reach your right hand up to the sky once again. Engage your side body and rise up. Bring your hands to your hips, and you're going to turn your toes to the side edge of the mat. Take a minute to find your steady. Both legs will be straight, hinge at the waist, coming forward with a flat back, and pause here. Notice the backs of your legs. See if you want to widen your feet or narrow them. And lower down a little more. You can walk your hands between your feet. You can keep them on a block and have your back be flat. Do what feels better for your head. If you have a block, place your forehead on it. The connection of the third eye to the block can be steadying and grounding. Notice if that feels soothing, if it feels good. Let it feel good. Head down is something that can really help in times of stress or anxiety. So if you need that, either now or sometime in the weeks coming up, it's a great tool. Lift up all 10 toes and lower them down. Move the block out of the way. You're going to walk your hands to the left side. Your right hand will come near your left toes, and you'll twist your left hand to the sky. Roll your wrist. Enjoy the backs of your legs here. And we'll switch sides. Walk your hands over to the right ankle and reach your right hand to the sky. Enjoy it. Come back to center. Bring your hands to your hips. Slowly rise up with a flat back. You use your legs here. And when you arrive, bend your knees, turn your heels inward, and sink down into goddess pose. Sink your hips down low. You'll lift up your right heel and lower it, and your left heel and lower it. Lift up both heels if that's fun, and lower them. Straight both knees, straight your arms, come up into star pose, 5-point star. Turn your right toes towards probably the back of your mat, the other way. You're going to pigeon toe your left foot, coming into warrior two here. Bend your knee and enjoy it for a minute. A long warrior two if you can. Flip your front palm up and tip into graceful or elegant warrior. Moving slow, but moving, allowing the flow. Not a rapid, crazy flow, but an easy flow. Cartwheel back open. Straight your front knee, and we'll come into Trikonasana on this side. Let it feel good. And pause here and just let yourself sink in and enjoy it. Reach that left arm over the left ear, stretching. Lower the left hand to the block if you have one, and twist to revolve triangle and let that feel good. Lots of different stretches there. Seeing if you cannot resist it and soften in. Resisting is revving up the nervous system. Switching hands back to Trikonasana. Bend your right knee and you'll bring both hands to the earth, coming back to that high lunge for a moment. You'll bend your left knee and bring your knee back. Come into the Anjaneyasana or low lunge on this side and grab your blocks if you can reach them. And allow yourself to sink in here. Inviting some softening. Noticing if your front toes need to wiggle a little farther forward to take good care of your knee. Letting this feel juicy and good. Two more breaths. You may notice the longer you're here, things release a bit. Straight your front knee and come back into a half split. Enjoy the back of your leg. Point your toe. Flex your ankle. Inviting movement everywhere here. Sort of a softening, massaging, not an overdoing. Walk your hands back forward. Move the blocks out of the way. You'll bring your right hand to the inside of your foot. Come back to hands and knees here. And take a moment here, hands and knees, to notice how you feel. Inhale for a cow and exhale for cat. Let it feel good. Once again, massage. Plant your left hand into the earth, reach your right arm to the sky and thread that hand through, thread the needle, come onto the right shoulder and stretch your left hand long. Pause here. Taking a moment to melt into the twist. Your right palm should face the sky. Back of the right hand is on the earth. Connecting here with the breath. And noticing how you're feeling, what you need, with kindness and no judgment. Gently bring your left hand back by your face. Press into the earth. Reach your right hand to the sky. Come back to hands and knees. Inhale, reach your left hand to the sky and thread the needle the opposite way. Your hand comes between the right hand and right knee and your palm reaches the sky. Enjoy the back of the left shoulder and reach your right arm long. Let it feel really good. And come back to the breath.
Remembering that the breath shifts your physiology. It calms the nervous system, literally deep breaths. Always available. And remembering that we need time to recover. If you have been in a high stress state, let yourself soften and recover and enjoy. Always important, and it feels so good, but we rarely do it. Giving yourself time to do that this week over the holidays with family. Something comes up, whatever it might be. Remembering that rest and recovery phase. Bring your hands back by your face and untangle. Come back to hands and knees, and we'll walk our hands forward, lift up into the downward dog again. Walk the dog, or lift up and lower your heels. Do what feels really good here. Press palms into the earth. Find your belly. Find the ball mound of the left foot, and you'll raise your right leg to the sky. Your right heel's going to reach back. Stack your hips and roll your ankle out. Let it feel good here. Re-square your hips. We're going to come into a pigeon here. If it doesn't work for you, stay in downward dog for a long downward dog. For those of you who want to do pigeon, you'll reach your right foot up and you'll gently bring it between your hands. Right knee comes to the right edge of the mat, and you'll tuck your back leg back straight, your left leg. And you'll lift up into what I call proud pigeon. And let yourself sink in for a moment here. Not a long one, but inviting kindness, melting what you're holding. If you want to come down to elbows, to a block, to the floor, gift yourself 3 delicious breaths here. Noticing what you need. Slowly lift back up to proud pigeon. Curl your back toes, and we'll untangle back to downward dog. Undo your hips here. Let it feel good. Find your center, find your palms, find your support, and you'll raise your left leg to the sky, bringing it between your hands, coming into pigeon on the other side. Left knee on the outer edge of the mat, left outer edge, and your left foot on the right outer edge. Starting up in proud pigeon, if that works for you. And if it doesn't, you can come down into child's pose, getting a similar melting and softening. We'll meet you there in a minute. Inviting your nervous system to unwind. Lower down to elbows and bring your hands to the floor and head to hands, or whatever works for you. And gift yourself 3 unwinding breaths here. Healing, nourishing, letting your body tell you what it needs. Slowly, when you're ready, lift up to proud pigeon. Palms come on the earth, curl the back toes, and lift back up to downward dog. Stretch, untangle whatever needs untangling. Perhaps lift up onto all tippy toes and slowly lower your heels. Unbend knees, come into child's pose. Sink your hips back, knees apart, toes together, and reach your arms long in front. Let your forehead land on the mat and melt in. Walk your hands to the left side of the mat. Send some love to the top of the right waist. Walk your hands to the right side. Walk hands back to center. Slowly lift back up to downward dog. And walk your hands back to your feet. Coming into forward fold once again. Widen your feet. Plant your left palm on the earth, bend left knee, and twist to the right, sending some love to the right IT band and the back of the right leg. Switch sides when you feel ready. Don't stay too long if it doesn't feel good. Or if it does, stay longer. Lower your hands. Squat down into yogi squat from here. Knees apart. And when you arrive, take your time. You can also have a block if you want for balance or to sit on. You do what works for you. Bring your palms together, press your thumbs into your sternum and let it feel really good. Sink your hips down, finding your center and your sense of grounding and sense of calm all the way down in the lower pelvis, in your sacral chakra, root chakra. Letting your heels reach towards the earth as well and noticing your calves. Lower hands and you'll shoot your hips up to the sky. Come into a forward fold once again. Straighten your knees if you can. Bend them and engage your belly and unroll all the way up to stand. Let it feel really good. Let your hands melt, coming to heart center. Press your thumbs into your sternum. Find your feet, lift up 10 toes, root them down. Press the thumbs into your sternum and close eyes. Notice how you feel. Notice how your nervous system feels, how your heart feels. And allowing here a tiny bit of slowing down and unwinding. And open eyes. And we're going to come down into broken toe, which you might think is the opposite of unwinding, but it allows you to unwind more quickly if you've been holding things. You'll sit up on your knees for a moment and you'll tuck your toes underneath you, pulling out each toe. If you have tiny, tiny pinky toes, they won't touch the earth. And you'll lean back onto your heels and stretch your toes and stretch the bottoms of your feet. It feels unusual. And if you've been under stress, it might feel even tighter and you may need to take breaks. Letting yourself take breaks. Lifting up and lowering down one more time, perhaps allowing yourself to rock side to side. And when you've had enough, shift forward onto your hands and bang your feet out. Let it feel amazing. Banging out anything else you'd like to bang out. Stress, tension. A lot of this shaking is good for letting go of what's held, trauma, anger, Really let it be fun, because it is fun. And when you feel complete,
Sweep yourself around to your seat and bring your feet into butterfly pose. Have a rock, find your sit bones, and press both knees towards the earth. Hug your heels towards you. Huge breath in, sit up tall, send your roots down and the crown of your head to the sky. And a huge out breath here. Inhale, grow tall, potentially close your eyes, hug your heels a little farther towards you. Sit up taller, grow your spine, press your knees towards the earth, not overdoing it. Let it out. Extend your left leg, bring your right knee into the left inner thigh. Your right sole of the foot into the left inner thigh. We're going to drop our right knee, bring our right hand behind us and lift up into wild thing because it feels good. Roll your wrist, gaze up if you can, and lower down. Shifting sides. Right leg extends, left sole of the foot comes to the right inner thigh. Take a moment to find your root. You'll take your left hand about 18 inches behind your hip, drop your toes and lift up. Enjoy the right side body. Let it feel really good here. Lower your hips down. And you'll bring both legs in front. Find your belly, and you can have your knees bent or straight. You choose as you unroll to the floor. Let yourself land on the earth and melt in. Notice how things feel. Notice what's on the earth, your sacrum, the back of your scapula, maybe your palms, maybe soles of the feet. Walk your heels towards your rear end. Your palms will be on the floor. Press palms into the earth. Lift up your toes onto your heels. Lower your toes, plant them, root them. Lift your hips to the sky. Shimmy shoulders underneath you. Grab the edges of your mat. Tug your mat forward. You may need to walk your feet a little farther. Be kind to your knees here. Notice what feels good. Enjoy your back. Enjoy everything here. Engaged. Reach your sit bones to the sky. Engage in glutes. Knees energetically connect. Big breath in. Lift a little higher. Exhale. Untuck shoulders and unroll. Bring your knees into your chest and have a really delightful massage of your lower back. Come into happy baby. Grab the outer edges of your feet and have a rock here. Let it feel good. Rock a little longer than you think you need. Massage different parts of your lower back. Extend one knee. Bend, extend the other. And bend. Potentially extend both if that's available. Let it feel really good. Wiggle toes. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees apart. Bring your heels towards you. And pause and breathe. Lower your feet, release hands. Come into Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring a hand to heart and a hand to belly. Taking a moment here. Allowing yourself to melt into the floor. Notice if you'd like to bring your arms up above you in a cactus pose. Might feel good. Sweep your arms down around to get the outer edge of your thighs, and you'll draw your knees together and you'll walk your feet apart. Bring your hands back to the cactus or a T. Big inhale. Exhale, drop your knees to the right. Left knee energetically reaches to the front right corner of the mat and soften in. Bring your knees back to center. Reorganize shoulders and sacrum. Drop your knees to the left and right knee reaches to the left front corner of the mat. Enjoy your psoas, your knee, whatever's stretching, relaxing, melting. And checking in with your nervous system. If it still is on high alert, can you offer it a little bit of safety? What is safe? What is going well? What great things are happening? What's beautiful? What has turned out better than you thought? What worked out just fantastically? What are you grateful for? Bringing your knees back to center. Reorganize your hips, walk your feet towards each other, and hug your knees in once again, giving them a huge squeeze. Bring your forehead all the way to your knees, squeezing everything tight, and lower your feet to the floor. Knees will stay bent. Reorganize and hug your right knee in towards you. Your hands will come behind the right hamstring to start. And you reach that right leg to the sky. Flex your ankle, point your toes towards you, and point your toes to the sky, flossing the nerves. Press the hamstring into your hands. Toes come towards you and towards the sky, and once more towards you and towards the sky. Bend your knee and give it a huge hug, squeezing it tight, allowing it to fall laterally into your hip. Have a little massage and lower it down alongside the left on the floor. Hug your left knee in towards you. Bring your hand behind your thigh, extend your foot to the sky. Flex the ankle, point the toes, floss the nerve. The nerve flossing invites some softening. It's hard to hold while you're flossing. Press your hamstring into your hands. Press your heel to the sky. Bend your knee and give it a huge hug, hugging it tight, tight, tight. Let it fall laterally and lower it to the floor. We're going to come into Shavasana here, and you can come into Supta Baddha Konasana. You can extend your legs long. If you have a bolster or a blanket, in the spirit of it being the end of November, treat yourself kindly, keep yourself warm. Notice what feels good, and take your time to settle in well. Allow your palms to open to the sky if possible. Perhaps keeping your hands on your yoga mat, but not on you. Let your toes fall towards the outer edge of the mat. And let yourself sink in. Let the mat hold you. Let your body breathe for itself. Let it feel really good here.
Gifting yourself a few moments to rest, restore, and refill. A few moments of rest. Let your nervous system rest. Let the breath rest. Let your mind rest. Allowing yourself to sink in and surrender and be held. If you wish to stay longer, feel free. That's the beauty of Zoom yoga or YouTube yoga if you're doing this later. And if you wish to come out, gently deepen your breath. Slowly start to wiggle fingers and toes. Taking in a big deep inhale, stretching long in either direction. Letting it feel delicious, that stretch. And when that feels complete, roll over to one side and make your way back to a comfortable seat where we began. When you arrive, find your sit bones. Bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. Close eyes. And drop right back into your body. Checking in with your heart space. Checking in with your nervous system. Noticing how you feel. Noticing if you feel a bit more calm, maybe a bit more alive, whatever it might be, perhaps more centered, more grounded. Taking a moment to decide how it is that you do feel. Practicing naming the feelings, letting it soften and feel good. Bringing your hands together, rubbing them together, creating some delightful heat. Press your thumbs into your sternum. Fingers reach towards your chin, elbows out wide. Pressure and energy of connection here. Taking in a big, deep inhale, the breath connecting to the thumbs behind the sternum. And a huge, long, smooth exhale. Taking a moment to think about what might be your intention as you move forward in this state where you feel more soft, more kind, more open. What might your intention be for this week ahead, for yourself, for everyone here joining together, for everyone in your family, gathering or not gathering, near and far, and for everyone in our world? Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. May we all be safe. May we all be loved. And may we all feel thankful and calm
and open for whatever the week ahead might bring. Namaste.